love is so sweet at this point. If we can't play the rest of the song, let's just continue, guys. You're welcome to the AM Club right here on MX24. If you're just joining in, you made the right choice. Yes, I am in the spirit of love. We're in the month of love, by the way, guys. And so if you don't have love in your life, I can't help you. All I can tell you is that be patient. In fact, this month, what we're going to do after this session is to learn how to package, gifts for your loved ones. And this will be my 3rd year doing this. And officially, I'm going to make the guests do their thing at this point. We all come back from that break. This is still the AM Club coming to you live from the MX24 studios, Oleander Street, East Laguna, Ghana. My name is Miriam Udwa-Kumenta, and this morning it's Friday, and so we're definitely going to be getting into the conversation of love. And today we're continuing our conversation on long-distance relationships. I'm telling you, anyone in a long-distance relationship is a superhuman being. They have double hearts. They are graced by God. They're especially called by God. Some of us, we can't. So joining me for the conversation this morning is Shavesky Thoughts and Daphne Flashley. Daphne will be joining us via Zoom, but Shavesky is in the studio looking all dapper. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good?
I'm very well, thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you. You look awesome. I told you.
You look like you're ready for love.
I am.
Yeah.
Bro, I am.
Yeah.
I've been ready.
You're glowing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you look amazing. You look like, like big boy, like I say own PAB, I say PAB. I like me vibes like that, I say OP, I say you're stepping it down, cra, I say flex, so crass the colors, no. Yeah, So Daphne is also online. Hello, Daphne. Daphne Urukwa Flashley. I cannot hear her. Okay, well, we'll come back in the studio, and if we get connected with Daphne, we'll continue the conversation with her. But Shabesky, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We talked about the long-distance relationship, some of the do's and don'ts. Now let's talk about the technical aspect.
Okay.
No. So last week, what we talked about was the emotional, capacity you need to have to be able to get into such relationships.
Yeah.
The realities on the ground, we touched on that as well. But let's get a little deeper and talk about. So, for instance, when you're getting into a relationship, the goal is for it to win. You want to win at it. You want it to be the ultimate. So you don't want to break up at some point, even though you counselors advise us to put that at the back of our minds, that it will not be the end. What should be your mental posture when you're getting into a relationship, especially a long distance relationship?
Okay, thank you very much. So I say that long distance relationship is not a weak relationship. It's a relationship that needs a lot of attention. And that is the relationship that exposes your maturity or your immaturity. It exposes it very fast. You understand? And long distance relationship is not meant to be permanent. It's meant to be temporary. We are away, or I am away for a short time. But if I'm going to be away for a very long time and I don't have any intention of coming back, that should be a red flag. You understand?
Yeah.
So long distance relationship is good when communication, many people think they are communicating, but they are only talking. They are not communicating about real stuff. It's like we are just on the phone and we think that we are communicating, but it's about being intentional and talking about our vision and all of that. But there are many people, because I talk to him all the time.
All the time. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How deep, how in-depth are you in your conversations? What are you talking about? We should go away from asking, how is your day, to how are you coping with the day? I mean, those random everyday questions, oh, I hope you are fine, and all of this kind of thing, it doesn't help. Long distance relationship is very intense, because you see, your partner is not with you, so they can easily doubt you. You understand? And they cannot verify everything. So you need to have an accommodative heart and know that you trust your partner. And that's very important.
Now, when we talk about intimacy without physical closeness, how are you able to establish intimacy without physical closeness?
Well, you see, intimacy is more of how is the frequency. You know, it's how you feel about each other. The kind of conversations you have. How I can be on a video call with you and look into your eyes and tell you how much I miss you, how much I care about you, how much I wish I was present with you. That alone makes you blush. That alone makes you feel wanted. And that alone makes you feel that you are not alone. Because you feel like the person is with you. And you see, it's a mindset. It is what you're thinking that affects how you're feeling. So when you know and trust that your partner loves you, the intimacy level is high because there's no doubt. You understand?
So intimacy goes beyond the physical touch.
It goes beyond the physical. It goes beyond the physical touch. Trust me.
Okay, Daphne, are you there with me? Is Daphne Flashley here? Please, I can't get through to, so I'm going to come back into the studio. So, is it realistic, okay, to expect fidelity when, you know, your physical desires are unmet?
Ask the question again.
No, so is it realistic?
That
is it realistic, right, to expect fidelity when physical, you know, needs are unmet?
No.
But you just said hold on. Daphne.
Yes. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. So we're talking, again, we're continuing the conversation on long distance relationship. I just asked Shavesky a question, and he seems to not understand me, because he just told me that intimacy goes beyond physical touch. Okay, it's the things you say, it's how you're available to each other, it's some of the conversations you have that reaffirms your I am here conversation, right? But I'm just asking him, and I'm going to throw that to you as well. Is it realistic to expect fidelity? And you know what I mean? Expect fidelity when physical needs are unmet.
Yes, it is.
It's realistic to say that, even though and I'm asking you specifically because, you know, we had conversations and you're the type, you are clingy, you want to be in the space of the person, you want to do stuff, but not having to do it with the person that you want to do it with. Does it bother you if they're going to get it somewhere else, if they're going to be wanting to hug someone, to have conversations with someone? And this cuts across whether it's a relationship or marriage. Is it realistic to expect fidelity?
Yes, it's very realistic. At the end of the day, let's be honest. Individually, you're supposed to have that respect for yourself, to say that I want to be loyal. I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything terrible. You yourself in person, you're supposed to have respect for yourself to say that anytime that you adhere to vows or promises, even though you've not even gone to the altar to say I do, the moment you said yes, I want to be your person, and with the intention that very soon we will close this distance, you should have respect for yourself. If you are being faithful to your partner, even though you're being faithful to your partner, you're doing it for yourself. Because individually, you should be able to have that respect for yourself
and discipline.
To stay to that discipline, to stay to wait for anybody who cheats or anybody who finds themselves. And I'm going to say this: they don't have respect for themselves. They are not disciplined because they are not doing it for yourself. At the end of the day, it's not your partner that went to put themselves in that situation. You did. It's a fresh new body count. It's not your partner that has that body count.
Indeed, indeed,
Yes,
indeed. Okay,
yes.
okay. So back to you, Shuvetsky.
Yes.
Same
So
question.
so you see, fidelity is intentional. It's not assumption. Okay? And if I am having these conversations with my partner who I may be away from or is away from me, and we are being intimate and we are talking, and she can be naked there, here and there, and all of those kind of things. It keeps you in check. Do you understand? But you see, infidelity comes in when you are not intimate with your partner, you're not having these conversations, even though she's away.
So be creative.
So be creative. Do you understand? Find ways and means. It's not there, but find ways and means to keep up.
Create an environment.
Create an environment that makes it, possible. I mean, there are certain movies and things that you can watch together online. You can share your screen and watch things together, do things together. It helps because, you see, if you're not intentional about these things, before you realize your partner is doing something else with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it's not automatic. You need to put in the work.
So when it comes to a conversation of loneliness, right? I mean, there are people that naturally are loners, like
Yes.
myself. Like
Yes.
you won't catch me doing a lot of public stuff. So I don't get lonely easily, right? When I'm there, I'm there.
Yeah.
But I like my solitude. I like my space. I don't want a lot of people in my space. Now, for the conversation on loneliness, how are you able to get creative in handling, your loneliness? So, for instance, my partner is busy. He's working. He's going all over the place. But I'm feeling lonely. And I'm expecting that, by this time that I'm feeling lonely, I should be on the phone with my partner. But he's not there. He's either not present or he's working. Let's say he's in a different country. He's working. How do I handle it properly that I do not project it on him?
Okay, so, the thing is this. You're also working. You're not idle.
No, if I'm not. For instance, my weekend is now I've freed my
Get
weekend.
yourself busy. Indulge yourself in something.
So I should really do
Because the devil finds work for the idle. If you are there, you are not doing anything. A lot of things. So, know the situation you are in and find a way. You understand? Join a group, go to church, do something.
something with your
That
life.
will not just keep you idle, and now you'll be thinking, hey, now I'm feeling so lonely and my partner too is not here. I want to talk to somebody. What do I do? Why do you want to put yourself in such a situation? Know the kind of person you are. Know your weaknesses and find a way so that that weakness will not get to you. Otherwise, you can easily call back.
Yeah.
And you see, there are people. So somebody like my wife. My wife is somebody who can be alone.
Yeah.
She's somebody that I can travel and then be gone for a while, and she'll be
likes
fine.
it, yeah.
She likes it. There are women like that.
I like my space. I like my
I like
space.
my
Yeah,
space
I like my
and all of
space.
those kind of things.
Yeah.
So you see, know the kind of person you are and know the kind of woman you go in for. It's very, very important. If you go in for somebody who cannot do without you and always wants you in their space and all of those kind of things, trust me, when you are gone, it will be very difficult for her. And when you are not careful, she'll find somebody else.
Oh, no, it doesn't get that bad.
Yeah, it gets that bad.
No,
you see, there are people who are
but if-
attention. You see, there are
But
people
if you
who
want something, you want it from a particular person. It's not for everyone. Unless you are like a commercial sex worker. But if you are not a commercial sex worker.
You see, there are situations where
Yeah.
you're going to work.
Yeah.
Your partner is not there.
Yeah.
And you're an attention seeker.
But you see, you people don't understand something. The attention is not from everyone. It's from a particular person. Like, I want attention from somebody.
You see?
Like, right now, I want attention from you, right? I want you to give me the attention. So if Isaac comes here, I don't care. I don't want to know about Isaac. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to you. You're the one I'm looking for.
That's fine. You see, there are people who may want attention generally.
Oh, no.
No, I'm telling you. There are people, I'm lonely. I need somebody. My partner is not there. Why do you think people cheat? No, think about it. Why do you think they have partners? Their partners are not available. But why do you think they cheat on their partners? Because they want something they are not getting and they can't hold themselves, which is bad.
Oh yeah, that's very
Do you understand? Which
Yeah.
is bad. So they need to learn how to hold themselves.
Yeah.
Because once your partner is not there and you are used to a certain lifestyle and you are used to something and you are not getting it anymore, they cannot reside their mind. So now it has to be, somebody has to fill that space. They can't be lonely. They can't be alone. So now when their colleague is giving them some attention and all of that, now their energy starts drawing there. And before you realize, they start catching feelings.
Do you think that is an issue of indiscipline, or that's an issue of assuming you love your partner? Because I'm thinking that if you really, really love your partner, then thinking about another person will be very difficult.
You see, let me tell you something. Love is intentional. Love is more than a feeling.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So the truth is that somebody can be in love and still cheat. Doesn't mean they don't love their partner.
Hey. Hey there, hey, Daphne.
Do you understand? The people who cheat, it's not because they are not in love.
Yeah.
It's because they've not disciplined themselves enough.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You understand? So discipline is key. You need to discipline yourself to know that this is what I want and this is what I want to go in for. And the discipline is not for your partner, it's for yourself. Because if you are not disciplined, you would end up doing things that will put you in trouble.
Sure.
So you can be in love and still cheat because you are indisciplined.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That I agree with you. Daphne, when we bring Daphne here, it's usually because she has experience in areas, so we like to explore that. Daphne used to be the girl that loves attention. Like, you got to be in her space. And by the grace of God,
She's
her
going
partner,
out of it.
Yeah, she's growing out of it, or she's grown out of it, because her partner currently is outside the country.
Okay.
I want to find out from you, how are you able to manage first the issue of fidelity, you know, completely accepting that this is where we are, whether it's for 1 month or 2 months, we're here. And then also being able to build trust and handling your own moments of loneliness. Because for someone who always has attention from your partners and then transitioning into a relationship that you don't see the person as much, how are you able to manage? How are you managing it?
Okay, so first I started with my boundaries. Before entering whatever it is, I knew what I wanted and I had timeline for what I wanted. If you don't have your own boundaries, you fall for anything. So before the person went 4,000 miles away, there was a conversation that was had. How long are we going to do long distance? But even if we are doing the distance, how committed are we? So we established that first before we started the distance. It really helped a lot because we maturely talk. When there are times that I'm feeling very lonely because I'm a very clingy person, I have every time I'm feeling lonely, I have conversations with him that today I'm feeling this way. Today I'm feeling the distance, much. And there's always something that he does. Like now there are some, and believe you me, there are some apps for even long distance relationship. And I didn't know that. So you download the app. You can send hugs to your partners. The app will help you send a hug. You can, update your pictures and all of that. There's always something to do that closes the gap. So communication is number one. If you're feeling very down today because, you feel the distance a bit more, because we are in Accra here, every day you see something that will annoy you. A couple will be holding somebody's hands and you're like, show off. Like,
like you right now. You right now. Show off. Yeah, stay on TV, you're telling me about your boyfriend. Show off. Show off. Just, total show off.
They be working as someone you be holding this one's hand.
It should inspire you.
How I wish.
Now, I'm inspired, but I'm really upset. Like, why?
Yes.
You should tap into
communicate
it.
That I communicate that with my partner, and then immediately immediately there's always something that will be done. But also know the kind of person that you're entering a long distance relationship to, because they're either going to make it difficult for you or not. If the person is emotionally intelligent, you're good to go. There are some people that they don't have emotional intelligence, meaning it's crazy. I think emotional intelligence is basic human thing. Everybody should, but people lack it. And so if you're with someone who is long distance and you can't express yourself to the person, you are dead. Because because now that the physical is not there, everything is based on emotions now, and everything is based on mindset. So I feel like this. Okay, what can I do immediately for your feeling to change, or for you to be much more positive, for you to be more in the positive light? Then also, me personally, being with someone who is intentional has, because can I say so? Let me be honest, and this is what I've actually learned from someone who used to be very clingy, someone who used to say, I will never do long distance. A clingy person is only a clingy person when they are not receiving what they want.
True.
They cling.
Yes.
The moment they are receiving everything they've asked
They
for,
let
they
go.
begin to let go.
Yes,
Because
they
in
let
their
go.
mind,
You're
they are
very right. Oh my
satisfied.
God, you're
So
very
they begin
right.
to let go.
You're
So
absolutely
is
right.
it attention that I needed? I have it. I'm okay. I
Yeah,
know in
you
my
let go.
heart
You do
that the
let go.
moment I wake up, it is good morning, Pookie. So I'm okay.
Hey, it's our pet name. It's our pet name. It's our pet name, Pookie.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
there we go. There, yay!
So the question is, what happens
know?
if that changes?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And
Come again.
today you are our guest. Shovetsky is also a guest host. So the question to you, as someone who is experiencing it now, what if that changes? What if it changes due to maybe work schedule? We
Yeah,
don't want to even
yeah.
pose it on whether he's lost interest. Maybe work schedule.
schedule.
He got an incredible job. He's going to be occupied every single time. What if that changes? What would you then do?
Can I bust your brain? We've already spoken about that before.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
already we've had a conversation where right now, his work is flexible and everything. So I get my good mornings and all those things. He's able to stay and watch the show as at 4 a.m. he's watching me. But we've already had that conversation. Then I remember I was like, oh, me that I'm used to good morning Pookie every day. What happens if your work schedule changes? What if you actually get this job? What happens? And there's always the break time there. And so now it's never 50-50. It's 100-100. So that means I have to start doing the good morning Pookie. Do you get it? I have to now start doing it for him to follow. And so we both have to have that understanding that we are not doing it in a position where when we're not doing it in a position where you're doing it and you know that this is the lifestyle that he's had for me. So I am going to wait, and I'll forever. There are times that if I wake up and I've not seen the good morning Pookie, I do it, and that's okay.
Okay.
It's 100-100. It's not 50-50. It's not 60-40. It's just 100-100. So we've had that conversation that there's nothing wrong. I just got it. Maybe it's because I've gotten this new job, but for me, since whatever we have going on means a lot to me, then I take the mantle and then it continues like that. But we've had that. That's why emotional intelligence is very, very much needed. And finding, like being in a long distance, finding someone who speaks your love language is very, very, very important. Because as a clingy person, I have seen myself let go, be peaceful when I've not heard from this person in an hour or two, and because this person always say that good morning, you won't hear from me in about 2 hours because today the workload is this, and so I'm very much okay. And believe you me, I trust this word because in that 2 hours, the call is gonna come, the video is gonna come, or the little text, hey, still thinking about you. Sorry, I said 2 hours, but I'm going to prolong it a bit. Always checking in, like making sure that I'm in the loop. I'm always in the know. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm like smiling from ear to ear. I think the question Shovetsky posed was a very relevant question. because things
Yes, yes.
change, and you don't want to also be caught by surprise and find yourself asking what happened to us. And so it's very important that you even delve deeper into the point when the butterflies are dead, because they will die. And when the butterflies die, what do we do to, revive the fire in the relationship? Because I was looking that up.
Yeah.
I was looking that up. I was like,
Yeah.
now, I told you last week that I'm now open for any kind of relationship as long as.
Hallelujah.
Girl, no, not so fast. I'm saying any kind of relationship, continue on. But I'm just saying that I'm open to having a conversation around a long distance relationship, and based off on what I will hear, I might want to decide to have a long distance relationship, or a relationship that we're not in the same either country or region, right? Now, having said that, I've also in my mind considered that this relationship could potentially be one that has me being with someone who's extremely busy. And I might not get what I am looking for. Am I ready for it? If I'm not ready, if it's a deal breaker for me to not have constant communication, then I'm not going to go for anybody like that. Like, there's no point. Yesterday, I was talking to a very good friend of mine, and then whilst we were chatting, I realized that because this person is very busy. They are very, very busy. But anytime I text and I'm cracking all my dry jokes, they are there to respond. And then I'm like, but they're doing this, but they're doing that. So I decided to send a long thank you message, because it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that nobody is too busy for the one that they care about or they love. No matter what, they will find a way and send you a text or something. Yeah. And let me chip this in. You see, long distance relationships are not for everybody.
True.
And you see, the earlier you admit this, the healthier it becomes. You understand? So that you don't pretend and then get into a situation where now there's no trust. You understand? Because it's not for everybody. Know yourself. Know that I cannot handle long distance relationships. And admit it. Don't say, oh, let me try and see. And it's like you're doing try and error. So if it goes well, fine. If it doesn't go well, fine. But then you're putting your emotions and your heart into a situation.
A lot of stress.
That is not good.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and you see, there are people who opt for long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who, they look at themselves and look at how they are. They feel like, no, I think doing a long distance relationship is what I need. So they go for it. Some people don't always want people in their space.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they want to be by themselves. Depending on the work they're doing and all of those kind of things, at least they know that there's somebody out there who cares about them, who they can talk to, who they can spend some time on the call with and all of that, and get to meet from time to time. There are marriages that have gotten to a stage, they are struggling. You know why? Because they familiarize. There are marriages that need space. One person has to go away for a while so that they can rekindle their love.
Yes, yes.
And you see, sometimes you think you are in love because of proximity.
Yeah.
Because the person is there with you.
Yeah.
When the person goes away,
are you still in love?
Are you still in love? That is when love is tested.
Tested.
You understand? Sometimes you think you're in love because the person is with you. When the person is not there, how well do you check up on the person? How often do you feel like speaking to the person? You understand? That tells whether you're truly in love
now,
or not.
Guys, for the two of you, before I wrap up, we're wrapping up the conversation. Production team, we're wrapping it up, okay? But there's $1 million question I want us to answer, and I've sent it to my favorite person. I hope you answer it. When is the time to fight for the relationship, and when is it time to let go? For a relationship that is a long distance relationship, I just told you guys that I'm thinking about it, but when I look at the pros and the cons, I think the pros are winning. But I'm just saying that in a case where you're already buried in a long distance relationship, when is it time to fight for the relationship, and when is it time to let go?
You know, so I listed a few things down. You know, one of it is inconsistency. Okay? Someone who is emotionally available today and absent tomorrow. Relationships like that, you can't trust it, because today they are there, tomorrow they are not there. It's like they are not consistent with you. The other one is defensiveness. Defensiveness. When every honest concern becomes an argument. So, like, it's like when you are trying to have a sane conversation with them, asking them, they are not being accountable to you. They are being defensive. And why are you asking me this kind of question? Why can't I? Once they start doing that, you need to know that it's not safe anymore. You understand? And then no future conversations. When if there's no plan to close the distance, you are not building, you are waiting. You understand? Because what's the future plan? Okay, when are we meeting? What's the timeline? Are you just going to be there and I'm just going to be here and we say we are having conversations? Oh, okay, I think this December I would visit. Oh, I'm working on your tickets. Can you come and visit? Then you know that the relationship is getting somewhere. But if for 3 years, 4 years, you can't take it once, and all of those kind of things, you have to start advising yourself. It's not healthy.
Sylvester, you say the right things every single time. And this is why I love having these conversations with you, because you get it. You're very practical. Find Sylvester Thoughts online on all social media platforms. If you want to have a personal conversation, we are in a long-distance relationship and you want to have a conversation with him personally, he has a WhatsApp line that he would share with us right now. Please share.
Yes, so the WhatsApp number is 0246 408340. 0246 408340. And you can reach me on Instagram, Shovesky Thoughts. So Shovesky is spelled SHOVESKY, and add thoughts to it. The thoughts TH, not the TAU. So Shovesky Thoughts, THOUGHTS. So you can follow me on social media and then send me a message, and I'll help you in how to handle long distance relationship. Tell me your challenges and I'll be honest with you if the relationship will go well or won't go well.
Back out.
Or you should back out. I'll tell you the truth. Okay?
Indeed. Thank you so much. And Daphne Flashley, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. It's always a delight to have a conversation with you. You're very honest, and I love that about you. Have a great weekend. Now, we have more coming up here on the show. Still talking about love. This Valentine's, you need to learn how to DIY yourself since you don't have money. Since you have turned into a broke girl. Since you have decided not to go and work. You need to find a way to celebrate that man. And for those who are working, you don't have to, you see, the man let me tell you guys. The man deserves for you to break the bank for them. But do something that appeals to what they love. Have you listened throughout the year? How do you intend packaging that beautiful gift for your loved one? Well, I'm talking to my women because this year, no boxer shorts. So yeah, as we have said that no boxer shorts, we have a session with Easy Grab and Surprised by Nuna, who they're joining me. They're going to teach us how to package Valentine gifts for our loved ones. You know I love love, so let's do this right after this.